Hi, beautiful souls. Welcome. So, what is it to love yourself? What is the path to self-love? When I first started out on my spiritual journey, it was quite sort of startling, shocking to realize, forget about loving myself, I didn't even really like myself. The messages that I got as a kid really told me that I had no value, that I wasn't lovable or worthwhile. That no matter how hard I tried, I would never be acceptable as I was. Now, for most people, these concepts stay hidden here, mostly in your inner child's aspect, what I call the inner child. But as you know, this is our unfinished business from other realities. It's our unhealed issues. It can be our galactic wounds. It can be our DNA lineage, our ancestral trauma. It can be everything in here that we have yet to heal. Ore tukrandiaka, orze tarianakike, ambrea tukarianaka. Now, as I began to explore the concept of self-love, I realized that not only did this aspect of me believe that I wasn't worthy or lovable, but my adult self did as well. And normally it's just here. But for me, I can remember talking to a friend and saying, but I am bad. Like it was sort of a truth that I couldn't deny. And when I continued to look at this and work with this, I eventually was able to change the viewpoint of the adult. And because I realized that I hadn't hurt anybody, I hadn't murdered anybody, I hadn't stole from anybody, but there was a part of me that thought that I was intrinsically bad. And it was incredibly woven throughout my self-concept. So we know that we choose our parents because their wounds, their concepts are essentially our unfinished business. That's why we are drawn to them and come through them and their DNA, because that DNA and the early experiences we are going to have with those people, those parents, set us up for our lesson plan for the life, for our lifetime. What is it we need to heal? What is it we need to understand and let go of? What are some of the heavy, dense perspectives and energies that have been hanging around for a long time that we have to gain the wisdom of and let them go? So this video is prompted as a deeper dive into reading number 2 of my recent June 23 tarot reading. So the bottom line of people who chose number 2 is they need to understand that they're lovable no matter what. They need to find love of self, warts and all, foibles and all. And the image I was given was of a staircase to heavens. You know, it's a very metaphoric image, but that's how I interpret it, that as we are going higher and higher in frequency, we are heading to a place of source energy. So it seemed that this concept of self-love and self-acceptance and self-worth was actually incorporated into the steps of the first 3 steps. So it was what I was being shown was it's intrinsic to the journey. It is a part of the journey, and that for us to really fly, for us to really expand into who we are truly, we have to find this concept of self-love and self-acceptance, no matter what we've done or not done. And that we will be hindered in a way in this journey of expansion if we haven't come to peace with all of those aspects of us. So in my journey to find self-love, you know, I would say, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself, I love myself. And I knew it as a concept, but I didn't feel it as a truth. And I worked on finding out ultimately what was in here. And what is in here is not only your inner child's perspective, but it's also what you can call your shadow self. Because for a little child to be told they have no value or be shown they have no value, there's grief around that, but there's also anger. And both of these emotions are often overwhelming for a little kid. So what do? They disassociate, they push them aside and put them in their peripheral awareness. So this is also the shadow. It's what you have not yet wanted to own as a part of who you are. So the phrase is, you don't have to love what you're doing, but you have to love who's doing it. And it applies for other people as well. You don't have to love what they're doing, but you have to love who's doing it, because we are all souls on a journey of growth and exploration, doing the best we can. So in accepting your shadow, in looking into your shadow, you also begin the healing process, the process of self-love. Areti shushandeaka, ambariate kukrianakike, humbariatsekika, areti jujanyaka. So in addition to affirmations or declarations of who you are, is to actually turn and embrace the shadow, embrace those emotions. So turn and look at the anger and love the anger and see within your mind's eye that little kid who's doing the best they can without any real instruction in this life about what to do with those emotions, how to navigate this world, because who's teaching them to navigate this world are wounded inner children in the form of their parents. So when you feel an anger, or when you feel jealousy, or when you feel not good enough, or when you feel judgment of yourself or others, see the little aspect of you in your mind's eye where this emotion is really anchored. And it'll be somewhere in those first 7 years. And then you talk to that being, that little one, and you say, it's okay. I'm not going to judge you if you're angry. And you do this emotionally and you do it mentally. So you direct love and care and attention at that little one, and you hold them in your mind's eye. You hold them to you, and you laugh with them, and you cry with them, and allow them to fully express what it was they felt as a child, which you still feel, but often it's so much in your peripheral awareness, you're not fully aware of the depth of it or the width of it. So when you turn and look at it, you are bringing it back to you and looking and feeling and understanding it, where it's anchored in your body and the degree to which it is incorporated into your system. Ambarea tukria sesi, andarea shosha, sakien nanakike. So the love of self is necessary in this journey of expansion. It is one of the first important steps that you must tackle, must look at. It will hinder you in that expansion process if you don't love yourself through your faults, love yourself through your jealousy or through your guilt or through your anger. So another thing to do is to write out those affirmations. So I love myself, or I'm valuable and worthwhile simply because I breathe. I'm fantastic. I'm wonderful. All of the affirmations that you can think that support love of self. So you write them down the left-hand side of a page, and then you write them out. And what's your first thought? That's not true. Or that's not what mum said. There'll be phrases that you will find that you will instantly say in response to all of those affirmations. And that's what I want you to attempt to define. Now, sometimes there's not a phrase, but there's a physical reaction in the body when you do it. You'll feel a hold back or a heaviness in your stomach, or you'll just lift your shoulders, or there'll be some physical reaction. There may not be words. So if there's a physical reaction, just dive into what you're feeling. This is, in a way, uncovering what's in here and what the blocks are to loving yourself. Areti shushanda krianaki, amburetishas tarionaka, he dutariana metise kika areti jujende kiena, hambariate sukorionoko, indariashe saka, hamberetiki andariashe se, ezuje namakaya, harti jenze kienaka. Ureti kunya, anendriaka, areti shundariakuka. Indariashasa. So I want you to look into your mind's eye, close your eyes and see the little you. Trust the image that appears in your mind's eye. Trust the little you. What are you wearing? How old are you? And think of the concept of love, value, and worth. Do you think this little one loves themselves? Do you think this little one knows how valuable it is? And I want you to check in with the emotions and the feelings of that little one. And just settle in, and I'm going to bring through some light languages and codes to support this healing process for you and your little one. Oretine. Ambandayante anguyana. Arendie, arendiendo rende angiana. Arie amuerende, ayande andriunda. Andrea nea curienne nana. So tenderness, care, compassion for the little one and for you. Areti shutariando korianaka, hindariashesu sebitianaki, handariashesa hayate korianaka. And let me repeat, you don't have to love what you do, but you must love who's doing it. Ambriatseki ka, as a part of the journey of expansion and healing. Ambriata, and moving to higher and more expansive frequencies. Ambureti shutstrianaki. Hambariata. 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 Koreti shenzekniaka. Areti shunze turesti enarkia. Hambariata. Oreti hareti. Jetu kriana makike. Zetendo kriana kike. Horetuja joshondoriatiniaka. Ambariate kudretikineat sapati tsetsi zinze shustania. Kendreaka protustaniaka indorkianaka. And breathe. So many blessings, and much love to you, beautiful, beautiful souls. Until next time.